Well, here we are again, friends. This is Papa Dale, and we are doing a Bible study, Bible Nutshells. It is a topical exploration of the basic Orthodox historic teachings of the Evangelical Church. And today's lesson is number 19 out of a little more than 100 lessons. Today's lesson is called God is Eternal. What does it mean when we say God is eternal? A lot of people think that means forever and ever and ever, both directions, in the past and in the future. Some say, well, that just means from now on. Well, let's talk about that. So put on my reading glasses here so that I can access my notes and not mess them up too bad. We'll see. We'll see. Sometimes I mess them up and I gotta go back and retract. And this is not a real professional presentation. Trust me. So anyway, here we go. Bible Nutshell number 19. God is eternal. The word eternal means having no beginning and no end. Oh, well, that answers the question we asked just a second ago. By this definition, God alone is eternal. God is not limited by the passage of time. He does not age, he does not forget or grow impatient as he participates in the outsourcing of his plan for redemptive history. Quote, Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations, before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hadst formed the earth and the world, even from eternity to eternity, thou art God. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. End quote. Psalm 90, verses 1 and 2. But what is eternity, and how is it related to time? Human beings are born into time. We live in time, we think in time, so we have no frame of reference for the idea of unbounded eternity. The reality of ending human existence is different from God's, who has neither beginning nor end. We experience everlasting life, meaning there was a point of non-existence, but now conscious, sentient experience is dynamic into the future. But what is time? Experts define it as, quote, the measured or measurable period during which an action, process, or condition exists or continues, end quote. Fundamentally, then, time is the linear passing of events. Our point of view makes the perception of time variable, but objectively, it must be linear to be consistently congruent. If it is not, reality as we know it disintegrates. Modern astrophysicists like Stephen Hawking assert that space, time, and matter came into existence simultaneously, and space and time are so independent each is considered indispensable to the existence of the other. They are referenced as a unitary concept, space-time. Many would assert that matter belongs here as well, and the formulation should be space-time matter. Individually, each has no rational point of reference apart from the other. If you had matter but no space, where would you put it? If you had both matter and space, when would you put it? They are woven into one concept. It seems that this proposition, the scripture agrees. Quote, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, end quote. Time, in the beginning. Space, the heaven. Matter, the earth. That's in Genesis 1:1. Notice that this verse implies that God already existed in the beginning, and everything created proceeded from him. Since this was the point of origin for space-time matter, this is evidence that God's existence is eternal, and it transcends space-time matter. The two most common hypotheses of time are given in theology. They are the atemporal and omnitemporal theories. The atemporal hypothesis could be described as a timeless existence where categories of past and future do not apply. In this theory, God exists in an eternally present state. This might be seen as the essence of his nature, extending throughout his infinitude. The omnitemporal theory postulates that time is fluid, as his creator is fluid. God has the ability to move between past, present, and future as he chooses, kind of like a time traveler. Each hypothesis has its flaws. In the atemporal theory, no linear progression of events can necessarily occur, and reality as we experience it is impossible. In the omnitemporal theory, no boundaries of time are incumbent upon God, so both his nature and promises to us become insubstantial, and thus he would not be God. A synthesis of sorts may be the key to better understanding. Reality exists in only one loci, in God. To paraphrase astrophysicist Carl Sagan, God is all there is, all there was, and all there ever will be. He is limitless. Consider this then. The universe, all things macro to micro, can be imagined as a bubble within God. In one sense, separate from him, but also both penetrated and surrounded by him. Once this bubble did not exist, but God chose for it to exist, and so it appeared. That bubble is space-time matter, our physical dimension. God interacts within it. When he does, his actions conform to the foundational rules he created for it. We sometimes call these rules natural laws. They are simply expressions of his nature and conform to it. In the beginning, God created space-time matter as a singularity. Time is a co-equal part of the created order within the bubble, interdependent upon space and time for existence. Just as God transcends all his creation, he transcends the portion we perceive as time, which is in reality an indivisible component of the singularity itself. Therefore, his personal existence is not bound nor defined by time or space or matter. He is the definition for those things. God is the creator and the Lord of space-time matter. He has and does enter into it in order to enact his purposes. God exists outside of space matter in his transcendence, yet penetrates it in some way to hold it together and enter in immanently as he chooses. God transcends time in the same way. Space-time matter is subordinate to him and has no limiting power over him. He is therefore spaceless, timeless, and matterless in his person. When considered from man's point of view, within the created bubble of space-time matter, time exists and is a contingent factor limiting God by his own choice at its creation. From God's point of view, he exists independently, infinitely beyond and superior to the bubble of the physical, including time. But God can and does eminently enter or exit the bubble as it serves his plan and purpose. Within the bubble, he acts within the rules of order which he himself created. That is, within the linear progression of time. Outside the bubble, his essential nature is, however, timeless. The ultimate answer may be beyond human capacity to understand, and as such, it may reside in the mysteries of the nature of the Godhead. Suffice it to say for now that in his essential nature, God is Lord over space-time matter in every way, being neither limited by nor subject to it, thus making him eternal by definition. So, a lot of times, naturalists, materialists, atheists will say God has to conform to the laws of nature. Well, what they don't understand is that God is the laws of nature. It is the very nature of God that is the definition of natural law. The very nature of God that is the definition of space-time matter. And so the inverse is actually the truth, is actually what is true. Space-time matter must conform to his nature because that's what they are, part of his nature. He doesn't have to conform to anything that mankind perceives as space-time matter. He is the author, he is the foundation, he is, by his own nature, the very thing that constitutes space-time matter. This is a very deeply philosophical subject, and it's hard to grasp. You may want to rewatch this video, or particularly go to the lesson notes and read them along with watching the videos and study them, because it is a difficult concept to grab hold of. So that's Papa Dale for today. The lesson has been, what is the lesson? Number 19, God is eternal. And hey, I'm old, I forget quick. Part of the Bible Nutshell series. And you can ask questions or interact with me by listing your questions or comments in the comment section below. Or you can reach me on my Facebook page, Dale Warren at Facebook. There are actually links in the details below the video that you can just click and get right to either. So that's it for now. And until the next video, you have a blessed day.